You don't talk much, do you, Mitch?
Actually, you haven't
That's
really given...
okay. Because, I didn't talk much when I first started working here either.
Number 10. The Cruds. This delightful DreamWorks animated movie follows the Cruds, a prehistoric cave family in search of a new home in the midst of several natural disasters.
Because what we didn't know was that our world was about to come to an end.
The movie's main focus is on Nicolas Cage's stubborn Grug and Emma Stone's Eep, Grug's rebellious daughter. But Reynolds still shines as Guy, a more developed specimen with an endless amount of inventions. Some of the best jokes in the movie come from the family's reaction to his intelligence and his creations.
Don't make me a part of this! Oh! Stay here if you want, but let me go! I've got a dream, a mission, a reason to live!
Not anymore!
Of course, Grug's fear of anything new puts Guy in some hot water. However, it's Guy that delivers the movie's main message to explore and bask in the joy of creativity and the unknown. Reynolds sells it well, and we can see why Eep falls for him.
Okay, now you can look. They're still there.
Number 9. Adventureland. This 2009 comedy revolved around something many of us can relate to: working a crummy summer job when you'd rather be doing anything else.
So your life must be utter shit, or you wouldn't be here.
I was supposed to go to Europe, but my family has money problems.
Wait till your parents start making you pay rent.
Jesse Eisenberg plays James, a new employee at the theme park who falls for Kristen Stewart's Emily. Unfortunately, Emily is also involved with Reynolds' Mike, the maintenance worker and resident pool guy.
Hey, I heard you jam with Louis.
I don't believe everything you hear. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Reynolds brings his signature winning charm to the role, as well as likability, despite Mike being a downright terrible person who uses his good looks and supposed musical prowess to have multiple affairs. Reynolds was a perfect casting choice, though, as both James and the audience needed to like him at first. We actually wish he had a little more screen time.
When we're together, we're good to each other. Let's not ruin it.
Number 8. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. The stoner adventures of Harold and Kumar started off strong with a ridiculously silly quest for tiny hamburgers.
What happened to the White Castle?
What?
There used to be a White Castle right here in this location. Where is it?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but Burger Shack, they bought this location about 4 years ago.
And it's packed with great cameos. Among the many issues that crop up, one scene has them trying to steal medical cannabis from a hospital. Only they're mistaken for actual doctors and brought in to operate on a gunshot victim. Reynolds only plays a small role as the OR nurse who mistakes them for professionals.
Dr. Patel! Thank God I found you. We have an emergency. Nurses, I need these 2 doctors scrubbed, gloved, and ready for the OR stat.
But even in this short amount of screen time, he manages to get a few laughs. Reynolds had some chemistry with Kal Penn, who plays Kumar, as they also starred in the raunchy comedy Van Wilder together.
What's your name? I'm Taj Mahal Badrandabad.
Number 7. Smokin Aces. When a $1 million bounty is placed on a Vegas musician for informing on the mafia, it brings out all manner of assassins seeking to claim it.
If an attempt is made on his life, it'll be made by those of the strictest professional caliber. They are immoral, ruthless, and without restraint, and they must not succeed.
Trying to defend him against the parade of uniquely twisted murderers are 2 FBI agents. Ryan Reynolds plays Agent Richard Messner, the younger and less seasoned of the 2.
Wall-to-wall felony offenses, murder, of course, extortion, arson, grand larceny, blah, 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 blah. A paternity suit, just to, round out the portfolio there. Not one single criminal charge laid against him.
Given that there's a rather large cast that includes the likes of Ben Affleck, Alicia Keys, Ray Liotta, and Chris Pine, you'd be forgiven for forgetting Reynolds' inclusion. Additionally, his performance as Agent Messner is naturally a bit more subdued than the variety of insanity the villains offer. Still, as the bodies continue to mount, he showcases a ferocity that would come in handy in later performances.
And that didn't seem odd to you?
Number 6. Waiting. Ryan Reynolds starred in his fair share of comedies that made it clear he would be a good match for Deadpool. Waiting follows a day in the life of the strange and often unprofessional staff at a restaurant called Shenanigans.
But I know. It's demented, depraved, senseless.
Based on writer-director Rob McKittrick's time working as a waiter, it features a cast of increasingly madcap characters we would never want handling our food. Reynolds plays Monty, a waiter who spends most of his time goofing off and screwing with customers.
Here you go, ma'am. I had the chefs take extra special care of it for you. And I'm truly sorry for the inconvenience.
Reynolds has charisma with just about everyone, from his best friend Dean to his scorned ex-lover Serena. Despite a lot of elements about Monty being pretty despicable, Reynolds can still manage to win us all over.
Here, I'll give you a hand with that. It's a stupid child-proof lighters.
Number 5. Foolproof. This Canadian thriller stars Reynolds as one of 3 friends who likes to play a game that involves devising plans to rob various establishments.
Hamish Jewelers, office number 1044. Gotta pick a Hodge deadbolt. 30 seconds.
Shh. It's just a game to them, but when a real criminal steals their plans and tries to blackmail them, they have to perform an actual heist. It was released in more Canadian theaters than any other movie filmed there at the time.
How did you know? You didn't just break in and happen to find the plans, did you? How did you know about Foolproof? Was it Fatmouth over here?
But as it failed commercially and Reynolds is the only big name attached, it's pretty forgettable. In fact, we would have forgotten about it entirely if not for Reynolds himself poking fun at it. In 2020, he and Mint Mobile launched a joke streaming service where Foolproof was the only thing you could watch.
Now that we're inside, it feels not
so bad.
Number 4. Paperman. Before Reynolds donned the iconic Deadpool suit, or even starred in Green Lantern, he portrayed an imaginary superhero in this dramedy.
Face it, you can't live without me. Do you mind? I'm communing with nature here. Why are you so incapable of believing I can do things perfectly fine on my own? Because you never have.
The film follows a down-on-his-luck writer who still relies on his childhood imaginary friend Captain Excellent to cope with life. While struggling with writer's block and a failing marriage, he befriends a young girl he has a surprising amount in common with.
There's Chicken Little, you know, and Little Red Hen.
Henny Penny.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a lot of books out there about poultry.
Reynolds and Jeff Daniels also boast great chemistry. It's fun seeing the two argue over the writer's need for Captain Excellent. However, the indie barely made a dent at the box office.
My super senses are telling me something. What? Yes. I think the doctor may be onto you. But wash your mouth.
Critics were not exactly kind to it either. Well, they can't all be winners. Number 3. The Nines. A troubled actor, a TV writer, and a video game designer. Reynolds plays all 3 in this twisty sci-fi thriller. Divided into 3 sections, the film shows each character living their lives and dealing with their individual problems.
The house is haunted. There's a zeitgeist or something.
Poltergeist. And no. Maybe there were rats. LA's teeming with rats. They live in the palm trees.
Maybe.
However, they find their lives beginning to cross over in strange and unsettling ways. We don't want to spoil how and why their lives are connected, but trust us when we say that things get pretty bizarre.
There's something wrong with the world.
I can get you out of here, but you have to trust me.
Reynolds is able to bring something different to each character, and his performances guide us through the maze of confusion until the final reveal. It helps that, like always, he has a great rapport with his co-stars Melissa McCarthy and Hope Davis, who also play 3 different characters.
This is hell or purgatorium or something.
Okay. Purgatorium is where Romans vomited, but no, this is as real as anything can be.
What does that mean?
Everything is what it is.
Number 2. Chaos Theory. Frank Allen gets paid to give lectures on time management. Everything in his life is completely organized, expertly planned, and highly efficient.
List making. It is your anchor, your harbor in the storm of life. Start each morning with your wish for the day, and then move right on into your daily goal list.
However, a string of terrible things he can't control puts his life on a new track, one of chaos. From missing a career-defining seminar to finding out his daughter isn't biologically his, Frank's life comes tumbling down. And so, he decides to give chance a shot.
This is what I'm talking about. Whim. Chance. I've decided to never decide another thing again.
While Chaos Theory didn't impress critics overall, Reynolds carries the plot well through his character's downward spiral. He's believable both as the reserved version of Frank at the beginning and the more haywire version later, which showcased some of his trademark manic energy.
We both know the score. Don't start whimpering now.
Whimpering? Hey, it's your decision.
Oh, that's generous of you.
It doesn't mean I agree with it.
Well, I would hope not.
Number 1. Boltneck. Once upon a time, Ryan Reynolds played a version of Frankenstein's monster in this incredibly campy horror movie, which originally received a limited release in 1998.
This will cover the cleaning service. Cleaning van's on the way. Told you could trust me. Don't wait up. Tammy? Michelle.
Arlene.
The film follows high schooler Frank Stein. Yes, really. Who reanimates the body of his classmate following his accidental death. Unfortunately, he does so by stealing a brain from his father's lab, the brain of a serial killer. Naturally, this leads to some personality changes.
Thanks for the lift.
Fellas.
Boltneck is clearly only for the most diehard of Ryan Reynolds fans, and you're not really missing anything if you haven't seen it. The only reason many of us were likely made aware of its existence is because Reynolds yet again poked fun at his previous work. This time, it was while promoting Deadpool 2 with David Beckham.
What did you think I was apologizing for?
I mean, there's a list. Green Lantern, R.I.P.D.,
Horrible.
Selfless,
Terrible.
Blade Trinity,
Oof.
Boltneck.
Boltneck was a masterpiece!
What do you think is Reynolds' most underrated film? Share your thoughts in the comments.
That's okay, I'm not sweaty anymore. You're glistening.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.